I think the phrase Milwaukee for All means that our unique and diverse communities are able to find commonalities within one another to build a solid foundation in enabling power and community within Milwaukee.
One Milwaukee for All really mean like no matter what color you are, what's your ethnicity, where you're from, anything like that, we're all in this together. No matter you're black, white, Hispanic, anything, we're all in this together. And we all trying to reach a common goal where everyone just accepts each other for who we are.
A Milwaukee for All means one for all and all for one for me, meaning that we come in unity, come in power, and just come together as one and just fix what needs to be fixed and find the solution to the problem.
A Milwaukee for All, to me, means that everyone, no matter their race, their ethnicity, where they live, where they grew up, has the opportunity to fulfill their dreams in a community that is thriving and vibrant and welcoming for everyone.
Right now, we have people who aren't able to fully participate, not because of something they've done, but because systems have been set up to keep people out. Milwaukee for All really is our opportunity to come together and to address that as a collective community, working together.
If Milwaukee were a place for everyone, we wouldn't have the high incidence of police brutality and huge disparities in our criminal justice system. We would not have a school-to-prison pipeline that's so strong that there are more young Black men in jail and prison than there are in schools, including higher ed.
I hope Milwaukee understands that it has to connect its communities and it has to, actually address some of the issues that hold us back around race, economic opportunity, and people.
So I think Milwaukee's greatest opportunity is really its people. So if we invest in the people, be it education, be it housing, be it workforce development, be it early childhood education, any area that impacts the people is an investment in Milwaukee and it creates an opportunity. Because if we begin to invest now, we will see returns 5, 10, 20, even beyond.
I just have such a high regard for the role of the Greater Milwaukee Foundation in our community. I feel that they have, over the years, had the pulse of our region and will continue to have it in the future. And in addition to our own philanthropy here, I was eager to do whatever I could to bring more people to the Greater Milwaukee Foundation.
The more I engage with the wonderful work of the Greater Milwaukee Foundation and this community, I realize that there are challenging issues that we will have to grapple with. So we've got to learn how to trust each other and work together so that we can accomplish the goals that we all want, which I think will ultimately give us the community that we want to live in.
Well, I mean, in part that the foundation is going to do something that it's been doing for a long time, which is to serve as a convener. It's an organization that brings us together, focuses on philanthropy. So what it means to me is a campaign, and we're looking for support, and it's support in order to do things for the community as a whole.
I partnered with the Greater Milwaukee Foundation from a philanthropic standpoint because I've been impressed with how the Greater Milwaukee Foundation is able to reach out to so many different parts of the community. I believe that we need somebody who can collaborate with organizations in the community, somebody that can convene other organizations to work together with us, because I believe that it goes back to the theme of our campaign that we're greater together.
My family, we have a small fund, but we're adding to it because of this committee, because of this campaign. And we believe that some of the programs that we hope very much to have significant change will make a difference to others, and it certainly will to our family.
The Greater Together campaign is one of the most ambitious undertakings in Greater Milwaukee Foundation history. Join us, help us realize a vision of a Milwaukee for all.
The goal of the Greater Together campaign is $700 million, $50 million in strategic philanthropy from 2017 to 2023. It's comprehensive in a sense that it focuses on not only growing our family of philanthropists, but pouring more dollars in the community where the greatest need is, and also encouraging donors to co-invest alongside us in the priority areas of the Thrive on Collaboration, early childhood care and education, housing, impact investing, and flexible funds. Join us because we are greater together in building a Milwaukee for all.
I think the most important thing the foundation can do to deepen our generational commitment to the neighborhood is to really listen to the generations who are in the neighborhood, to listen to them, to the grandparents who are the griots, to the parents, to the children, to really understand what their needs are. We can't begin to deepen our impact if we don't first and foremost understand what those needs are. Secondly, we have to make sure that we're doing the work in partnership with them and not to them.
A lot of times we do things to community without talking to them or including them. And so this is something that we did not want to do, just move into the neighborhood and say, this is what we want. But really backing up and saying, how do we start with the community in mind? Recognizing that relationship is important, right?
If we want a true Milwaukee for all, it starts early. It starts with our youngest children whose brains are developing faster when they're infants and toddlers than they're ever going to develop again.
We at the Greater Milwaukee Foundation are very familiar and very well versed in what are effective practices to help children grow and reach their full potential. So it's an important investment to make.
So I think Greater Milwaukee Foundation, we look at housing as big because there's a huge gap and disparity for housing when it comes to home ownership for Black and brown families. There's a gap of 32,000 homes needed as far as the stock. So creating homes or rehabbing the homes is out here to make them more affordable and available for Black and brown ownership, to create that generation, the wealth, fulfill that gap, that financial literacy, the budget, get people off to a great foot and pass it down to generations.
I think our program is unique because we're being creative about how we're actually doing it. No, it's not a cookie cutter type approach where we're going through the same underwriting process that a lot of the traditional financial institutions are doing. We're meeting people where they are. And we know that the same ideas that flourish out in the community that's being financed, our community is just as creative. And they have those great ideas, they just need capital. And we're dedicated to moving that capital into our community.
And the bottom line is, to have healthy communities, you need to have thriving neighborhood businesses. And so I'm excited because by doing this impact investing, we're going to give access to capital to businesses that have been trying to fund everything through by themselves, essentially, which is really, really hard to do. And so by giving these neighborhood businesses access to capital, we're going to create much healthier neighborhoods.
As we think about how our community stands, there's things that are going to come up in the future that we have no idea about. There's things in our recent past, COVID-19 and the pandemic, that we're still dealing with that we didn't know was about to happen. But because of the generosity of donors in creating flexible dollars, we were able to use those funds to help address immediate needs in our community. So that's why it's important to have flexible funds as we think about the community needs changing, how we can invest to move those forward and make a difference. Community is in our name, it's at the root of what we do, and so we need to be flexible to the changing needs of our community, and those dollars help us do that.
You play a role in making this possible. We invite you to join us to come on this journey through the Greater Together campaign.
by partnering with us on your philanthropy so we can build a Milwaukee for all.
Everybody can participate. In fact, we need everyone, because without everyone, we will never be able to achieve a Milwaukee for all.
Join us, 700 million. We know it's possible. Help us be greater.
I hope you would join me
in supporting the Greater Milwaukee Foundation.
Because I believe.
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 And I believe.
And I believe.
Because I believe.
We are greater together.